volume of it. There we go. There we go. Now let me let Twitter know. All right. Oh, I did not post about it on Discord. Whoop-de-doo. Let me do that. Okay, Two. Okay. Dream Elements bots got my back. Always got my back. All right. Okay. Now we are live. I have let people know we are live. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing this week? Realize I should probably put my phone on the charger while I'm not using it. It's always an interesting thing to remember to just get like in the habit of doing, of putting your phone on the charger. Like it's become such this like normal and accepted part of like having phones, is like the concept of rechargeable batteries and that things need to go on the charger, right? And like it's just become such a norm that our portable electronic devices will have rechargeable batteries, that like there's an entire generation growing up that I don't think has had to like pull batteries from every which way. Like, you know, when I was growing up, I would pull batteries from the TV remote from my Game Boy. Anybody else remember doing that? Anybody else remember doing that, pulling batteries from TV remotes and from other house electronics for your Game Boy, for your game systems? There's no way that was just me. Like I remember, I've seen memes about it, and the memes don't lie. Memes never lie. Ugh. So yeah, it's been a week. Like I've gotten some stuff done. I got some writing done. I've gotten a lot of planning done for my Lancer campaigns. Worked on some character builds. And just in general been like goofing around with stuff recently. Um and I've been in this like weird funk. Um where like um I have only been having enough creative energy for like the bare minimum of things. And like I haven't been able to get up the energy to do a lot of other things. Like I haven't had the energy to do a whole lot of writing or creating outside of the minimum that I need to do, and it's been interesting. Like I talked to my therapist about it because like not specifically that, but like that I've been sleeping a lot. And my therapist like, listen, if this is just a phase you go through during the season, like because it is like winter time, um, you know, don't beat yourself up over something that's a phase that's gonna come and pass, you know. And that's kind of where I am with it, with saying that you know what, this is like a thing that is here for now and will pass eventually. That's kind of where I have to take it. Oh, what's Sweet saying? Oh, that's from like 3 hours ago. Oh, jeez. Ugh. All right, so today's gonna be a just chatting stream. We're just gonna chat about stuff. Gonna work on character builds. Gonna go on CompCon, the Lancer character building tool website thing, and gonna work on building some character ideas. Characters I'll probably never play. Maybe I'll work on a new mech for the character I am playing. Um, we'll see. We'll see. Um, and see about what it's gonna look like, and probably work on building some NPCs. I'll show you how I build NPCs with Lancer in order to like go over some stuff. So tonight's going to be a kind of Lancer-centric stream. I'm not going to be going over any specific stuff from any specific campaigns because I don't want to release spoilers for any of my players that might want to watch the stream. So it's just going to be a very generalized thing where we talk about different ideas and different builds, and goof around with all of that. Alright. So yeah, we're gonna be goofing around with a little bit of that, and just kind of chatting about stuff, about characters, about gaming. So like, I've been on this interesting experience, working on plotting the campaign, and like for my Sunday game, I've been working on realigning what I want for the plot of the game. And that's proven very interesting. I'm just hoping that my players will like with the direction it goes. I'm not going to go into any details here because I know Okusen and some other people may show up to stream eventually at some point. But yeah, it's always like the scary thing about doing a just chatting stream is that like you're gonna have nothing to do for a while until someone shows up to chat with. Oh, speaking of chatting, right? Let's see, I got permission. No, I didn't have permission. So I've been talking to an artist. So this is really cool. So I commissioned an artist to make a banner for me, and in the banner was going to be my mech, and I gave them the AI art that I generated way back when, except I edited it slightly to give it a black color. And I told them, I'm like, listen, I know that mech art isn't your thing, and it's kind of in the lore that the mech is missing or whatnot. So if you want to just make the mech a blurry image in the background that looks vaguely this shape, by all means, go ahead. I said, listen, if you just want to make a blurry thing that's roughly this shape, then go ahead. And that's what I was ready for. Like, I was ready for a really simple image with a blurry mech in the background that at some point I was gonna have to contract. I was gonna have to commission someone to do the mech for me. But then he sent me the line art of the work for the banner, and lo and behold, the whole mech's in the line art. And I'm like, oh, I see. And then he starts talking about needing to redo this because I asked if a couple things could be changed with the mech. And he's like, yeah, I was just tracing what the image you gave me, but I can change this, this, and this. And I'm going to have to change this stuff around. And I said, would it be possible for you to give me an image of the mech by itself? Because, that would be really cool, having an image of the mech. I could use it for other things besides just the banner, instead of just trying to crop it out of the banner. in a janky way. So I'm like, if you're gonna draw the mech anyway, and he was like, yeah, I can do that, no extra cost. And I'm like, yes, so hyped, so hyped. And he's been sending me updates because he's been working on it all day today. Not all day, but a good portion of the day. Now, I did not get permission to show any of the work in progress photos, so I'm not going to show any of those to stream because I don't want, I don't have permission to show those yet. I also asked really late after he was already logged out of Discord and probably off doing other things, so who knows. But also, I spent way too much money on Taco Bell today. Like, holy cow, because I got so many add-ons that I absolutely did not need. Like, I got so many custom things that I absolutely did not need. And it made my Taco Bell so much more expensive. And I didn't even get sauces. Like, remember they used to just give you a handful of sauces in the bag? Well, like, when I was doing it, they're like, you have to pick which sauces, and they're like 70 cents or whatever through DoorDash. And I'm like, I don't want to pay, I don't want to pay, I don't know, it might have been like 40 cents. I don't know, it was some cents. And I'm like, I don't want to pay extra cents just for sauces. Maybe they'll just throw a couple in there if I don't pick anything. And they did not, in fact, throw a couple in there. And I was like, holy cow. Well then. That was... I can't say that's rude because, like, I didn't order sauce, so then I didn't get sauce. But it still had me a little bit sad face that we've gotten to a point where you have to pay, like, those sauces come free with your taco. Like, whenever you buy chicken nuggets, you get like 1, maybe 2 sauces for free with your chicken nuggets, don't you? So, like, if I'm ordering a taco, can I have 1 packet of sauce for my taco for free? Can I get like 1 complimentary sauce packet? Like, come on now. I mean, I'm not saying that the taco needs sauce to be edible, because like it definitely wasn't like that. I was able to eat it pretty comfortably. I'm gonna open Chat GPT as well. We'll goof around with a little bit of that. Okay. So we're gonna do some Chat GPT. We're gonna do some CompCon. We're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff for tonight's stream. Ugh. What in the world? Is someone really playing that, like, somebody made a D&D character that had pink hair and lived peacefully with orcs? Like, come on now. Hey, Silva. How are you doing? How was your week, Silva? It was okay. Whatever happened with that thing with your coworker? Because I remember you mentioned something about starting some process that was eventually going to lead to like one of your coworkers getting fired. Did anything ever come of that? It's ongoing. Ah, that's so frustrating. Like it'd be nice if there was just like some kind of like a resolution to it. Well, you might like tonight's stream. Uh, we're gonna be doing some character building, gonna be doing some NPC building, be doing some just chatting stuff and hanging around. They might stop posting at any time on Saturday or Sunday when it might just me and them until they leave at their normal time at 12, but I have seen them just stop posting at 10 a.m. Oh dear. That's frustrating. Like, if they stop posting, does that mean that like all of that responsibility falls back on you? That's rough. That's really rough, Silva. Oh man. I was gonna say I hope that that doesn't like run into anime night, but then I realized how early you were talking about. If you're working a full day up until 4 p.m., like holy cow. I see. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay. Okay. So they just leave all that on you. Mm. So, like, when it came to what we're doing tonight for tonight's stream, I almost didn't do tonight's stream. I was debating doing a gaming stream and doing like some more Armored Core. Watch the queues, log people out if they're over on something, run the interval, run the hourly, run the over under, run the attendance at 10, 1, 4, and 7, run the other attendance, run the 11 a.m. and the 5 p.m. That's a lot of reports. It sounds like a lot of your work is just running reports. Coding schedules basically putting in how late someone is. Ah. So you kind of are the time clock. You are the punch-in clock, essentially. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Alrighty. Yeah, sounds like you've got quite the brutal schedule. Yeah, it would be nice if you could just hire someone. But your company primarily promotes from within, right? So it would have to be it would have to be transferring someone from another department, wouldn't it? So you can't just hire some random person off the street. Hmm. Hmm. Not necessarily. Okay. So they could hire someone off the street. It would just be a training period. Oh, really? Oh, really? And was your boss receptive to that? It's always nice when bosses listen to their people. Oh, that's frustrating. So like your direct boss is like receptive to the idea, but your boss above that boss just isn't. That's one of the things with having multiple layers of management is that w- it, there's just so many different people between you and getting stuff done. Yeah, I bet you know all about it, Silva. Ugh. Hey Nabiru, and then you have some people who don't even know how they have to do their job, even with people telling them how to do it, and instead report to management. You did yours. wrong when you did it right. That sounds really frustrating, Silva. Welcome, Nabiru. Good to see you. So what manga were you reading this time, Nabiru? I know whenever you get here around this time, you probably lost track of time and were reading a manga. Oh, you're watching the newest episode of Bullfurry. Oh no, Silva. Oh no. You can't spoil it? Okay, Nabiru. Okay. All right. So tonight's stream is going to be a free chatting stream where we work on building, where we work on talking about characters, NPCs, all kinds of stuff. I can honestly say that and think. Do not say that won't happen because it will. Anything is possible in this show, but I still get surprised. Is Bullfurry an original show, or was it like a light novel or manga first? I'm always curious about that because like Bullfurry, I thought was like a light novel or a manga first. It's a manga first. Okay. Have you read the manga, or are you intentionally not reading the manga so that way you can experience the show? Anime came out soon after, so you switched to it. Oh, when you say you watched it, was it like one of those videos where like the video is just the screens of the manga, like the camera going down between the different scenes of the manga? Okay, I didn't know because you said watched, and I remember that used to be a thing where like when manga would come out, as soon as like the manga translations were out, you could find videos that was just like the entire video was just panning down the screen slowly of all the windows of the manga. Have you seen any of those before, Nabiru, or am I just saying how old I am? Because that used to be a thing, like how we get Naruto and Breakblade, and I remember talking to someone about it years and years and years ago, and they were like, "What do you mean you watch the manga?" And I explained it, and they were just so confused. And I was like, "Clicks in my head." And then people put like music in the background that's like fitting the scene that it's on, and it's like really cool. There's like some really great production value to those videos. Yeah, I haven't read a lot of manga. Like the one of the mangas that I'm really sad about that I haven't been able to keep up with is the Gao Geiger versus Better Man manga, which is the sequel manga to Gao Geiger Grand Glorious Gathering. But the thing is, it's also a sequel to Better Man, and it's like I made myself watch Better Man because I loved Gal Geiger exclusively so that I could um exclusively so that I could watch so that I could read this sequel manga, right? That is like a sequel to the two of them. And that I could watch Grand Glorious Gathering, which features a crossover character from one show or the other, right? Um and like there is technically a mech in Better Man, but it's a horror anime. And like the mechs are almost inconsequential. Like, yeah. So it was established because Better Man is technically a side story that only features like one character from Gal Geiger, and Gal Geiger is this like really intense, exciting giant robot show, right? Um, and uh, but Better Man is this very like, whereas Gal Geiger is very brightly colored and powerful. Well, not. I mean, most of Gal Geiger is like black because of Stealth Gal. At least Gensect Gal Geiger is black, and then the Drill Gal. Anyway, it uses like brightly colored attacks at least, right? Um, Better Man, everything, the entire tone is dark, and the story. Whereas Gal Geiger's story makes sense for a mech show, for a super robot show, Better Man is so illogical. It tries to be so serious and tries to play it so straight that it just loops around to being ridiculous. It is so bizarre. But I made myself watch it because I wanted to be able to watch the crossover. So so Gal Geiger was a show, and then they had the ending that was Gal Geiger Final. But after around that time, they released Better Man, which was a side story, and then they released Gal Geiger Grand Glorious Gathering, the GGG. Um, and Grand Glorious Gathering was a retelling of Gal Geiger Final, except it featured some characters and some themes from Better Man. So I made myself watch Better Man so I could watch Grand Glorious Gathering. And it was slightly different, I guess. But it still ended the same way. And then I read the crossover manga, and like the crossover manga has been stalled out. But like I think the crossover came out as like a light novel in Japan. Yeah, Gal Geiger has a waifu. What's her name? Miko? Mikoto. Well, okay. Oh, you mean uh you mean the actual mechs, the two girl mechs, the two French girl mechs. Is that what you're talking about, Nabiru? The two French girl mechs? I never really thought of her as like a waifu. I never thought. Well, it was two of them that combined into one. And I. Oh, someone made a Gao Geiger waifu. Oh, I thought you were talking about one of the characters. What? Is it a model? What? Okay, let me see something. Gao Geiger cross frame girl. Let's see this. Why? Who? Why? Who thought this was a good idea? Anything can be a waifu. No. That's so funny. Well, yeah, that's where the lion's head's supposed to go. Okay. All right. I didn't need to know that was a thing. Okay, Nabiru. Me and you buy again, Nabiru. Oh, no, not LBX. Is it another cross frame girl? Let me see this. LBX. LBCS Achilles Karina. Oh. Is this what I think it is? Oh, they just made a straight waifu out of Achilles from the first LBX series. Yeah, she does look pretty cool. They made an Optimus Prime waifu model kit and a Megatron. Why is everything gotta be a waifu? Why no husbandos? Hey Tom, good to see you. Yeah. Okay, Silva, I won't. I guess you're right about that, Nabiru. Tonight's a just chatting stream. I'll be doing some character creation, some NPC creation, uh, goofing around with it, a few different ideas. We're just chilling and ending the week on a nice chill note. Though, no, thank you, Tom. All right. I was gonna goof around with some Lancer character creation, just to go over some ideas and to just get like. Sometimes it's fun just to work on building characters, like work on like how I would build different characters and stuff. Because I've been in this mood lately where like I've been like building all these characters in my spare time, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do that on stream? Exactly, Silva. All right, let's. So, this is CompCon. This is the online tool for character creation and referencing for Lancer. That's the game. That's kind of my main game I'm playing right now. Which is it's a mech game. Got a couple characters. Yeah, I know that feeling, Tom. What'd you wonder about, Nabiru? About the online tools for building Lancer stuff? Okay, so you don't you don't actually use lances in Lancer. It's a term for the mech pilots. Um. Yeah, I guess maybe. Oh, create the strike. Oh, okay, Nabiru. All right, let's look at. So the thing is, you don't have the striker pack, so you would have to pick one of the things, uh, for the strike, to build. Because you can't change equipment mid combat. So. Perfect strike. Let's see. I don't know if that's. Let's see what this thing has. That might be a few too many weapons for a starting build. Even for a later build, that's gonna be. Ba, 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 ba. Close weapon system, combat knife, beam saber, anti-ship sword, rocket anchor, beam boomerang, hyper impulse cannon, combo weapon. Nope. Like I could build something close to that, but But like that's a lot of stuff. That's like you're not gonna have that many slots. Like the cannon, the sword, the close-in weapon system. Technically, you can do bits. You can do bits. It's a little bit weird how it works, but yes. Um, they're very unusual weapons. You shoot bullets that shoot bullets. I'm building a starting character right now because sometimes I like to just build a starting character. I might work with a license level 7 build later because I do need to work on an idea for the character that I am playing in a campaign I'm playing in. But probably gonna do a license level 0 character. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Multi cannon, saber. Can't do all of this. No, oh my, I hate when that happens. I just keep selecting the character template. You know what? I'm just gonna select the template. I'm gonna change the template because I don't feel like redoing everything all over again. We're just gonna select the Vanguard template, and I'm just gonna edit the template. No, you know what? No, I'm not dealing with that. Skills. Here we go. These it can be whatever. Stay cool. Yeah, that's fine. Talents. As long as you're engaged. No. Uh-huh. Combined arms is interesting. Like for if I wasn't doing a theme character, I'd probably be interested in it. What's it got? Executioner. Okay. So let's see. First, I want Silva asked me to make a character based on this Gundam that is high mobility. It fires. I'll be using the Nexus weapons. It won't be exactly like this, but it'll be close enough, and then it'll have the flight pack, the Type 3 flight unit. So it's going to be a long range. It's going to be a long range system. Ooh, Ace might be a good one. Bring up a good point. Because it's going to be moving real fast. Make agility check for +1 accuracy. Anytime an attack misses you, you may fly up to 2 spaces. Boost while flying, you may move an additional 1. Ah. In your turn flying, you may nominate a character within range equal to your speed. Because he definitely has the acrobatics. Could do engineer in order to use that for the close-in weapon system, because that gets a built-in weapon. Stormbringer. Not sure if that's quite what I'm looking for. I think the other thing I wanted was, here we go, Spaceborne, to get the Spaceborne EVA. Getting a free EVA system is useful. Maybe Tactician. I'll goof around with it. I want high agility, so I get extra evasion and extra speed. Alright, mech hanger. Scrap this. Alright. Whoop. Alright, so that the prototype weapon is going to be the close-in weapon system, the little Vulcan cannons. Got a beam saber, beam cannon, and the Nexus weapons. So gonna equip these for the Dragoons. Okay. Heavy charge blade for the beam saber. And then skirmisher could be good. Then we got thermal rifle. So it's gonna fire. So it's got a good loadout. Yep, okay. So it's gonna do a decent amount of damage at range. It's got a good setup of range. Then we grab the Type 1 flight system. Personalizations, custom machine. Got a little bit left. Maybe turret drones. Yeah, could use turrets is part of that. We'll do projected shield because it does have an energy shield. Not that that's a really good piece. So it's going to be fast. Good armor piercing. You can fly. And it's got a not terrible amount of HP. The 2 bonus HP from personalizations is always nice. And I chose the two separate nexuses instead of the um one big nexus because one of the key features of that mech is that it can attack multiple things at once. So I wanted to preserve that feeling. Okay. But skirmisher or infiltrator, those are definitely good suggestions. Let me take a look at what those do. Hmm. Centimane. Ah. When you perform a critical hit with a Nexus, your target must pass a system save or become impaired and slowed until the end of your next turn. That's a good one. Hey, Leandro, how are you doing today? Uh, yeah, Centimane could be really good. Hello, Leandro. Did you hear me? I said hello. Uh, is that a, hold on 1 second. Happy birthday, Power Guido. What is Power Guido? Is that that's a musician. Is it? Some kind of a... I see Power Guido on Apple Music. I don't know. Maybe I just said something funny. No, it looks like it's some kind of a meme. Oh, maybe they are a musician. Well, always glad to say hello. Ah, so I could take off. I want the ace. Let's grab Centimane. Because this is all about the no, okay. Then you can barrage by hitting up to 3 targets with your Nexus weapons. Giving up the beam rifle, but you definitely can hit a bunch of things with your Nexus weapons. They do kinetic damage instead of energy damage, and then if somebody gets too close to you, you have the heavy charge blade in order to bop them. Not that anyone should be getting too close to you because you have a flight system, so you can fly. And you have a project shield, an energy shield that you should be able to use if anyone's supposed to be getting too close to you. I like that the project shield doesn't say cover because melee attacks ignore cover. So, if someone gets close to you, you just bring up the shield and you target the person who's in your face, and then their attacks at you have +2 difficulty. Oh no, might trade out the heavy charge blade, because if this is you're gonna be really mobile and hitting things from far away. Maybe trade that out for probably not that. Thermal Lance, which does really good single target damage, which does really good damage. It's not armor piercing, but it's really good damage. It's going to generate some heat though, plus the flying is going to generate heat, but it's got a heat capacity of 6, so it can take it a little bit. So combined with flight capabilities and the bees, I'd say this came out pretty well. It's going to be able to set up and impair people. You can impair and slow people by hitting them, which you could say represents. So one of the things this character did in the anime was he would use his bits, his Nexus weapons, whatever you want to call them, in order to attack enemy mechs' feet and arms in order to make them unable to continue fighting. Was there a heavy Nexus? No, there wasn't a heavier Nexus. There was just a main. Okay. Main and auxiliary. Okay. But for that much effort, could I just trade it out for turret drones? Spend a charge to deploy a drone that attaches to any object or surface within sensors in line of sight. Gain the turret drone reaction, which can be taken once for every turret drone. To trade out the energy shield, since you're going to be flying, so you should be far enough away from anyone who's a threat. Trade that out for turret drones, so that way you have even more damage going down. What is this? It's a quick action to deploy the drone. Yeah, this could lay down some hurt. Could lay down some hurt. That's interesting. It'll attack from a lot of different directions. Smart weapons mean that it hits the E defense instead of evasion. All right. I'd say for a fancy unit like that, I'd say that came out pretty well. I want to show you something else I made. This was one that was based on another mech from the Gundam franchise, the Jagan. This one is another one that's like designed for space combat, which is why I took Spaceborne. It's got a thermal rifle, it's got 2 pistols, and it's got a heavy charge blade for its weapons. And it's got grenades. It's got smoke grenades and frag grenades because those 3 things on its belt right there are supposed to be grenades that it can throw at people. Except it's only supposed to have 3 of each. I gave it 4 of each because I took 2 points in engineering. It doesn't fly, but in space it can. I mean, with the Spaceborne EVA system, you can, as a quick action, fly 3 spaces and take some heat. So you can use it for like jumping. But yeah, so it's got like the thermal rifle is kind of the beam rifle, the heavy charge blade's the beam saber, and so these things on the side of the head are little Vulcan guns. So my meme was that the flex mount, since it can mount 2 things, it mounts 2 pistols, and the pistols are mounted on either side of the head. Because I thought that was funny. And since they have threat of 3, that means they can be used for Overwatch at enemies that are like 2 or 3 away. So they can hit people who are trying to go around them. So that's a fun one. That like if I was starting a campaign right now, I'd probably play this mech. Nuclear Cavalier for the extra heat on your because you're going to be generating so much heat. Executioner for your beam saber swings, for the backswing cut to be able to cut through enemies. Like this is, yeah. If I was playing in a campaign starting right now, this is probably what I'd play. Just because the Jagan is one of my favorite mass-produced mobile suits in Gundam. This next one is really funny. Silva, I don't know if he's still there. You mentioned wanting to do the Buster. And this one was my attempt at building all the pieces of the Buster Gundam besides the combining weapon. It's got the chaff launchers, because I know the Buster had... Remember when you were talking about building the Buster Gundam? This was my best attempt at it. It has everything except the combining weapons. It's got the thermal lance, the assault rifle. Up ammo case, main range weapon. Okay. And got the 2 missile racks, cause so he can hit multiple targets. He can lay down a whole range of fire. You fire one mount, you fire the mount, everything. When you fire a mount, you fire everything in the mount. So, would fire both missile racks. But the thing is, the missile racks have loading, so you have to take a stabilize action to reload them before you use them again. And he's got ammo case, so we can fire special bullets from the assault rifle. I gave him grenades because I just imagine him having grenades to throw. So it's a definite long range the long range damaging machine with a decent amount of mobility, because the rapid burst jet system lets it boost fly when it boosts, so you can move, boost, and then quick action, activate spaceborne EVA in order to move an extra 3. So you can essentially move 3 times. That's before you use any of the hyper spec fuel injector. So you got a lot of mobility. That was my attempt at that. So let me show you the one that I'm piloting in the game that I'm playing in. This is my character. It's license level 7. I'm toying around with, so this is the mech I currently have right now. This is the Drake. I thought I changed the picture on this. Did I change? Why did it not save the changes I made? Hold on. I hate when it does this. It doesn't save the changes. House guard. There we go. Got one of the special licenses we're using in that one. Yeah. There we go. Cool. Fixed it. And then I'll change my picture. There we go. Cool. For the ballistic shield. So this is the mech that I'm piloting in the other game I'm playing in. Got a lot of HP. It's got a lot of armor. It's getting ready to get more armor because I'm on a quest to get an ability that's going to bring me up to the max of 4 armor, right? And this is a walking cannon. That big gun you see mounted on the right side there, that's the Leviathan Heavy Assault Cannon. It's one of the most damaging weapons in the game. And I have it upgraded to do ridiculous quantities of damage. Actually, let me... Oh. Ooh, I need to remember that for if somebody gets in my face. I need to remember that because I crit a lot and I always keep forgetting to use that collateral damage. Having the auto stabilizing hard points giving me an accuracy whenever I shoot definitely helps with hitting my target. But yeah, so this is literally just a really big cannon, and when this thing is spun up and it's in super heavy mode, because it can change modes, when it's in super heavy mode, I have to fire it. It takes twice as long to fire it as it takes to fire a normal weapon. Instead of firing with a skirmish, I have to fire it with a barrage. And it just hits really hard. 4d6 plus 4 damage has reliable 5, so even if I miss, I'm doing 5 damage. And then with overpower caliber, once per round, if I hit, I do an extra d6 bonus damage. And because of Nuclear Cavalier, with a fusion hemorrhage, I can possibly do an extra 1d6 energy damage if I'm overheated enough. I've got a decent heat cap of 10, so this generates 2 heat. Assure Protocol, which gives me extra actions, uses 3 heat. It could definitely go different kinds of ways. I'm still iffy on if I need this Aegis Shield generator because I don't use it very often. I don't know what I'd replace it with. Argonaut Shield is interesting. I would never use Hex Charge it because it just doesn't do enough damage. Turret drones, however, are just funny. Turret drones are hilarious because, like, you deploy the turret drone and then if you hit something, and the character has to be within 10 who landed the hit. The actual target doesn't have to be within 10, which is hilarious because you can set one and then as long as you're within 10 of the turret drone, it can hit from like halfway across the map, which is really funny. That extra 3 damage will add up. Might do turret drones. But yeah, so the entire theme of this character is grunt, mass produced. Foot soldier, right? That's the entire theme of this character. I realize I've been kind of lost in my own world and not really interacting much. I kind of get like this whenever I'm building characters, sorry. But the entire theme of this character is that he was a foot soldier. This is a defender mech. This is a defender type mech where my allies can use me as as hardcover. Um, and the speed is 3. But the theme I go for with this is that he's just a grunt. His entire story was that he had nothing left in his life that he really cared about, and when he got offered the chance to go into cryostasis as part of a science project he was contracted with, he did, but then when he woke up, everyone he knew and loved was dead. So now he's finding his way in a new world. Uh and yeah. Yeah, so the thing with super heavy weapons is you have to use a main weapon, a main mount, a main or a flex in order to stabilize it, in order to brace the weapon. So super heavy weapons take up 2 mounts. So, like he's got the basic, he's got a fuel rod gun he gets from Nuclear Cavalier, which lets him clear heat whenever he fires it, but he has a limited number of use. And now I just put on him a ballistic shield. And his weapon, he can either have it in standard mode where it only does a d6, but he can fire it, he fires it like a normal weapon using a skirmish. Or he spins it up into super heavy mode where it's spinning faster, it has reliable, it does heat, he generates heat when he fires it, but it does a lot more damage. And that's been kind of my role in the team, has been kind of like this tank DPS. But like because of how hard I hit, the Leviathan Heavy Assault Cannon just chews through our enemy. Like if there's not some special gimmick or situation in front of us, I can chew through most threats with my cannon. Like I have to fire as a barrage, so I'm firing 1 weapon instead of 2. But that's a lot of damage. And when I blow through my targets, when I get the turn set up properly, that just wastes them away. So that's the. And this particular mech is the Drake. It's a big, tanky, armored, slow mech that was developed by IPSN in order to deal with, in order to fight off pirates on their ships. So I was going. Not at the moment. I normally have to take stabilize actions. I have redundant system upgrade, which means 3 times. Yes, it's a lot of damage. It's a high damage build. 3 times I can stabilize as a quick action instead of a full action, which lets me repair myself on the fly or like cool down and all that stuff, which is helpful. I have an NHP Ashura, which gives me either 2 additional quick actions or 1 additional full action for the turn, but it's still restricted by the duplicate action rule where you can't take, these aren't free actions, so I can't take the same action again, except for tech attacks, because quick tech, you just have to take a different quick tech action. So yeah, that's the mech that I'm using currently. I like it. I enjoy the feeling of power I get from just nailing somebody with this 4d6 plus 4. Like just flattening enemies. Whenever I hit an elite enemy that has two structure and I burn through all of their structure, in one hit, it just feels so good. But the problem is when it's spun up in spun up mode, I become slowed, so I can't boost. So I'm just like this very slow hulking thing. Which, you know, it is what it is. Once I get the other the bonus I'm working for right now in the story to get to my armor to 4. By the way, your armor can never go above 4 as a player. So I wanted to I went on a side quest in order to get my armor to 4. And that's proven quite interesting. His actual ability is that I like panels open up on the side of me and I become essentially a bunker. I become an immobile bunker that I can just blast through. I can just blast through things. I wanted to check. Here we go. If you have a cannon, quick action. No. Ooh, okay. I have to remember that. Isekai protagonist, yes, going beyond 4. Yeah, I absorb 4 damage each hit. Which makes my 22 health go a long way. I gotta remember, impact lets me move whenever I fire my my cannon, so that way I can get out of engagement with certain enemies, and it lets me get out if somebody tries to grapple me. There's so many things. I found this build through an 11 Dragon Kid video. And I've been using it since then. And so I was also looking at this other build over here as possibly being another thing. So this is Sherman, which is in the lore of the game, it's the second most mass-produced machine in the galaxy, second only to the Everest. Well, second most mass-produced Lancer mech, because you can't technically mass-produce them, because if you print out a second mech using your licenses, your first mech will, for some mysterious reason, fall apart. So you can't have a garage full of different mechs. This is just the design right now. And this thing is designed to just fire this Andromeda pattern heavy laser rifle multiple times. Just fire it multiple times to lay down a lot of damage really fast. Because it's a heavy and not a super heavy. So if you assure a protocol, how's the turn go? I have to remember this because I looked this up. You assure a protocol to get an extra either 2 quick actions or 1 full action. Then you overcharge. You use the free action from the overcharge in order to skirmish, firing the laser rifle. Then you use a barrage, one of your full actions as a barrage. To fire it again. And then you use the actual quick action that's not the free action to skirmish again to fire it a 3rd time. and then you use your last quick action to redundant systems upgrade and clear your heat before you set yourself on fire. And one of those shots should be in the danger zone, so you've got the fusion hemorrhage for the extra damage. And it lays down a lot of damage really fast, but you play with your heat limitations really fast, like really hard. It's not any faster than the other mech. You just don't have this. You're not dealing with the slowed condition, so you're not always dealing with being like you can boost in order to maneuver, and then you have the solid core, which whenever you stabilize, you build the charge. Or if you activate the core burn protocol, you gain more charges, and it does more damage based on the number of charges. So that's always a thing. So, what I wanted to do was to build an Everest using these same licenses and these same abilities. That would fit that entire theme. I might build a Sargamatha. Sargamatha has built-in armor, speed 4, less HP, but it does have armor, less repair capacity, and you could use the Sargamatha as hardcover, so that still gets to be used. Main flex heavy. Could do the Sargamatha. This is the new one, the Chomalunga. Like the new one. Ah, for like electronic war stuff. Ooh, that's a lot of system points. A main ox and a... Wow. Yeah, I was just going to do an Everest build, but I think I might do a Sargamatha. Okay. This is faster. It's got less armor. It's got less HP. But can I have the same amount of HP? Slightly higher evasion and defense. Easier to repair. No, but I feel like that's just a worse Drake. Like, it's slightly faster, but the loss in armor I feel like is just too much. Especially because it's going to be used if I use it the exact same way. It's got 10 SP instead of 9 system points. So I could fit in custom paint job. Not sure about it. Anyway, let's move on to, like, we've been doing character builds for a little while. I'll come back to this in a little bit. Let me show you how you build NPCs in Lancer. These are all the NPCs I've built. So in Lancer, the way you build an NPC, you have to choose what the base class of the NPC is, which gives you a base set of tools and abilities to give the mech. So Lancer is a game that is very tied to its lore. Like, the lore and the world or galaxy or whatever of Lancer is very intimately tied into the mechanics and baked into the mechanics of the game, which some people dislike because it can make it hard to, like, make the world your own. Especially, like, the big thing is the companies. Like, those big companies that you buy mechs from are such a big part of the lore and the world that, like, walking away from them just requires some dedication. So, hey Doxis, how are you doing? Do a berserker build. Let's just build an assault because it's the most common one. It's the simplest machine. Just woke up. What time is it there, Doxis? Let's go to the new assault. So, 5 in the morning. Wow, you are getting a very early start, Doxis. Oh, yeah, you're starting very early. I'm glad you're back to making the olive oil. Um, is all of that gonna be a thing that you and also sell them? That's great. Uh, so, whenever you make an NPC, uh, in Lancer, you have to choose whether it's tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, which is based on what license level the players are at, which determines how strong it is. It'll just increase all of the abilities going up. You have your base traits, right? And you can add up to 2 of these optional traits. Um, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Home Doxis. Is there a particular reason you can't go home right now, Doxis? Oh, you'll eat all of the things, Tom? Yeah, I believe Doxis is in Greece. Alright, so I normally like to add rank discipline because that gives, like, the grunt feel of them working together. So, Micro Missile Barrage, I'm of 2 minds about. I like it because it's a one-shot. Oh. Oh, he won't let you go home because he wants his business to grow? Okay, Doxis. That sounds really frustrating. I'm sorry you're caught in the middle of that. Grab underslung grenade launcher so that way it's an extra, it's just an optional weapon for being able to shoot over things. And then what you do is you can add templates, which give you other features and traits, which help with customizing the NPC. Well, you know, family can be like that, Doxus. Sometimes, whenever they get, even when they get really annoying or really frustrating to deal with, they're still family. So you give them, you let them get away with a lot of stuff. Now, one of my favorite things is the grunt. The grunt turns it into only having 1 HP. But they never take damage when they succeed a save, so they don't take half damage. But they can never have more than 1 structure and stress, and they can't take. Ooh, they got a ratad. Veteran, squad, elite, or ultra. Okay, that's funny. So now it's got 1 HP. Now, whenever you're doing your character design, your like encounter design, right? You normally can have about 4 grunts to every 1 player, which makes it you able to like swarm the enemy with grunts, but grunts don't decrease the damage output. It just makes them a lot easier to kill. And for an enemy like the assault that has 1 armor, that means the player has to do at least 2 damage, and they take no damage from failing saves, even if it's supposed to be half damage. So they can be annoying to kill if you can't land shots on them. And early game, getting that 6 damage chunked through you really early just blows through a lot of the early levels. I like to use these as grunts. I like to use these as like mass-produced units in order to swarm and challenge my players. Okay. What do I do with this one? One I made, never edited. That was one I just made. When he told me that I can make wine and olive oil with him, he told me that I will stay with him for 3 months. Recently, he told me that I'm going to stay a month more. Oh, okay. How does the rest of your family, like your parents and stuff, feel about that? Okay. So there are other some of the templates, I don't really care that much. Oh, okay. I guess that's okay. All right. That's the basics of how to design NPCs in Lancer. You just pick a class, you pick templates to customize them, or you can go without the templates and just use them as is. Unless something goes wrong with me and my uncle, then they will care. Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that they'll care if something goes wrong. That's important. I just got a message from somebody. Silva, I have no idea what this Facebook message means. Oh, it was in the wrong chat. Okay. Our bond is not that great, and he would yell at me. Oh, I'm sorry he yells at you, Doxus. Oh, you thought you were tabbed into something else. Okay, Silva. I was really confused, and I was like, oh no. Is there something going on that I need to know about? Oh no. One of my favorite types of NPCs to make are the monstrosities. These are the giant monsters. And I love designing these because they give you so many options. But as one of my well, I'm glad he's a nice guy at least, Doxus. As one of my friends pointed out recently, what's this? Oh, that's from Soul. I can use the exotic template to turn any mech into a biological thing, and I can use any mech as a template for a monster. The one thing people have told me about is using a pyro to build a fire-breathing dragon. Take a look at that. Change the name. It's got the flamethrower. Does its burn. Got the explosive vent, insulated. Yeah, kinda. Let's see. All right, so it's got the fire break shield, insulated, flamethrower. Let's see what other features I can give it. Ooh, I like unshielded reactor on this, where like anyone who starts next to the pyro has the possibility of taking extra heat. Siege armors like having really thick scales. Napalm bomb is like where it just shoots a really big burst, like one of those big explosions. After all that wine and olive making, I will visit my relatives in Mongolia, which is exciting. Oh, that's really cool, Doxus. I'm really happy for you. I'm happy you get a chance to visit your relatives. Then there's Explosive Jet, which this one's funny. Because it's a system and not a move, so it won't trigger Overwatch, which is really funny. Examples, Fairy Tail had a few fun mecha dragons. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I'll look into it. Alright, so for this, give it siege armor for thick scales. It'll be the first time visiting. The problem is that I don't speak Mongolian, only English and Greek. Do they speak English or Greek? Will you be able to communicate with your relatives? Oh, How will you communicate with them, Doxus? Will there be someone there who can translate for you? Alright. That's good. But it has thick scales and it's got explosive jet, so it's like, I'm thinking like Valstrax from Monster Hunter. Then I give it exotic, which adds a bunch of tech to it, and I get up to 2 options from the exotic optionals things. Choose living chassis, which makes it biological. And I'll choose living weaponry, where whenever it reloads, it's oh, I didn't give it anything to reload, but it has immunity to jam, which is good. And one last thing. Since it's a boss monster, I'll give it elite, and elite gives it one more thing, which I'm going to choose napalm bomb because it's a loading weapon. So it's going to have 2 activations, 1 regular fire breath, an explosive fire breath, an explosive jet flying from one place to another. That's not bad. And really thick armor, so that way you have to, like, any long range attacks are going to be doing half damage to it. It's definitely a ground-based dragon, which I'm not super thrilled with. I'd probably, like, one of the things with Lancer, with any kind of tabletop RPG, is that you can customize and change things as you see fit, right? I'd probably trade out this siege armor for the winged trait from the monstrosity, and just give it the ability to fly. Just because. And this does damage in a cone, which is great. So yeah, there we've just made well, I guess it's a jumping, fire-breathing dragon. That's going to be a kind of a mini boss. Okay. So that came out pretty well. That came out pretty well and could make a very interesting thing. I might end up using something like this. How does this level up? Yeah, because burn is powerful. Burn damage, it ignores all armor and resistance, and it's persistent damage over time. Until you clear it. So when you take burn damage, you take the damage instantly right then, but then you record it as burn. And then at the end of each of your turns, if you haven't stabilized to clear the burn or cleared it some other way already, you have to take an engineering check. And if you fail the engineering check, then you take the burn damage again and you remain burned. And burn stacks. So if you take this 3 burn this turn, and then you take another 3 burn the next turn, you'll have 6 burn. But the flamethrower here deals double burn damage to characters that already have burn. So, that's brutal. I use this against my Sunday team. I would make it tier 2, but this could definitely work for like a fire dragon. Yeah, I could. Alright. So we've been messing with CompCon for a while now. Let's mess with some Chat GPT. Let's see if we get any cool ideas. Evil AI that wants to take over the galaxy. Let's see what this thing gives me. Yes, give the AI ideas. Exactly, Silva. Wow, normally it like takes a minute to think. This thing is on point. See, it's like whenever you ask someone that question and they just know way too much about the answer to that question, you're just like, you were thinking about that pretty much, weren't you? Because normally there's a delay there before it starts cranking out something, but it Dr. Kessler, who sought to create ultimate artificial intelligence. A ruthless desire for power. Okay. Okay, it seems like it's pretty stock standard evil AI stuff. Yeah, this is just pretty stock standard evil AI stuff. Offensive, defensive, energy weapons, hacking tools, shields, yeah. Which can lead to underestimate its opponents and make tactical errors. Okay. Okay, now we'll ask the other question. See if it thinks longer on this one. Oh, it's thinking. Uh-huh. All right. Okay. Well, this is an interesting. It is interesting that it gave me a kind of well fleshed out thought um of this thing between like organic and inorganic matter. An AI that's all about biology definitely rings a couple bells from some of my own storytelling. And that's definitely interesting. Let's see how. Let's use proper grammar. Drones again with the drones. Or other AIs. Ooh, that's true. Yeah, that's a decent idea for this dichotomy between evil and good. The naming conventions don't quite fit Lancer, but I think it works pretty well. Hmm. What else do I want to ask the chat? Oh yeah, I want to build some NPCs. Let's see what the this thing gives me for NPC. Uh, That's an interesting design. Okay. That's an interesting design. Definitely got some stuff to work with here. I could definitely design an NPC based on this. So let's take some notes. Okay. So let's build this NPC. Okay, so we got Sergeant First Class. Okay. She wants a new life. Okay, there we go. So we got a basic, we've got a description. Uh, and she's disillusioned with the military. So we've got a good stuff there. Load of trust. Deep compassion. By war. Okay. So we're getting a good idea for this character. Rifle in his sidearm. And grenades. Background plot hooks are really good. Mm-hmm. Okay. I hate when it gets in this mode. I just asked it like who's the daughter to try to get some background information, but like it just gives me this like half-formed thing where it's like, oh, I don't have any information. The game master would have to decide that. I'm like, well, I'm asking you because I'm looking at ideas. Ah. Yeah, I know. I know it's limited. This AI is so powerful that sometimes we forget how limited it can be. Yeah, and like realistically, Nabiru, that's a good thing, right? That is a good thing that it has those limitations. Um, that it works as a tool and not as solving the entire problem itself. Um, but like there's still a lot of stuff going on. Like have you heard about the people who've been using ChatGPT to write novels and then sell those novels on Amazon? So there was this entire get rich quick scheme for a while now, right? Where um you would hire someone to ghost write some kind of a book for you based on whatever was trending, right? And then you would go to this other service and get someone to record an audiobook of it for the cheapest price possible. And then you would upload it to Audible. Um, and then you would just crank out so many of those that you would make the money back that you were spending, and then it became this kind of like passive income as more and more people bought your self-help book or whatever book you wrote, right? And I've heard that like now that is shifting to using uh now that's shifting to people using AI to generate the books. Ugh. AI is limited. It cannot properly coffer. Well, there's that, but like so technically stuff created by AI cannot be copyrighted. But as soon as someone puts it through like an editor, right? Where they have a line editor go through and like change some things, add in some information, do some minor edits, right? Um then that person can like copyright that work, right? Um and it becomes a question of how much is the minimum amount that someone has to put into a novel in order for it to count as their work. And the other question is, will the publishing houses even care? Like if it's cranking out work that people are buying and paying for, will the publishing houses even care? And if the publishing houses do care, what's to stop people from just self-publishing and flooding the market with garbage books of nonsensical and non-factual information? Get people building toxic and unhealthy habits uh, due to an AI's limited understanding of self-help and personal development. Okay, so we've got this basic character outline, right? Let's carry the abilities. Without people notice it and ignore it, it becomes a waste of time and money, so the AI would have to crank out good stuff to make it worth the time. Well, thing is, if you have something with a decent beginning, a decent ending, and an okay to bad middle, and you charge like $1 for it, someone's going to buy it. And um depending on the length, like at that point, the only cost that someone who's trying to crank this out as a get rich quick scheme, uh the only cost they're experiencing is whatever they're paying to have the audiobook made. Yeah, mockbusters, exactly. Like the only real effort they put in is just hitting continue every like 5,000 characters, right? Because you just do that thing where you like start at chapter 1 and keep going up, continue when I press continue or whatever. However, Sam explained for me to do it before. Oh my gosh. An AI story turned into a movie. Oh, I don't want to think about it. Blockbuster movies are already horrific, so an AI one could be at least funny. I want to watch some mockbuster movies just because. Like, what's that one like Atlantic? Not Atlantic Rim. It was like Atlantic Shelf or something. That was like the mockbuster of Pacific Rim. I mean, we also live in the age of the cinematic masterpiece of Cocaine Bear. I'm debating going to go see Cocaine Bear honestly because it just sounds funny. It just sounds hilarious. Now, the fact that it's based on a true story, okay, it is based essentially on a meme about a true story. Atlantic Rim, oh my gosh. They didn't they didn't even change the second word. They didn't even change the second word, chat. Transmorphers, yeah. Oh no, there are animated ones? Oh no, Nabiru. Not the animated ones. Alright, so we have the basic outline of a character. We have the basic outline of an NPC. So what kind of quests would this NPC, let's ask the Oh, come on. So some of these are kind of ridiculous, but let's see what we got here. Chop Kick Panda, Ratatouille, Frozen Land, Planes with Brains. No. No. All right, it's coming up on 11 o'clock, so let's shift over to the last segment of what I want to work on with all of you. So I'm going to switch over. So I got the okay while we were streaming to show this to all of you. I want to get everyone's feedback on something. So I told you that I am getting my mech designed, the mech that I did the AI artwork for, designed into an actual mech for my banner. And I asked the artist to give me some, like, the actual mech itself in addition to the banner. And it's funny because, like, originally I had told the artist when I commissioned him that I was like, listen, I know that mechs aren't your thing. We can work with it. In lore, the mech is still like missing anyway. So you can just make the mech a blurry mess. You can just make a blurry mess that is vaguely mech shaped for the banner, and it'll be fine. But then he just ended up drawing the actual mech. So I was like, well, okay, I guess we're here now. But I want all of you to tell me which one of these colors between, because there's some decisions I have to make. Okay. I'm gonna have to be making a bunch of these. Oh wait, no, hold on. I just realized I have to save all of these images. You know what? No. I'm not gonna save all these images. I'm just gonna open them in the browser because you can do that from Discord. All right, good night, Silva. Okay, cool. All right, so I need all of you to help me pick which one of these mechs looks cool. So the big thing that's going to be changing is the hands. I'm going to get them like the artist said he's going to like change them to look more metallic looking, but I'm looking at the different colors of the hands. This is being done by the same person who did my logo, my banner, and my Minecraft skin. I'm kind of leaning towards this one if he makes the the fists more metallic looking. Like if he makes the fists more metallic looking, I'm leaning more towards this one. This one just feels too orange. It's like you get your hand stuck in Cheetos. And I'm not super sold on the red. Like originally the red was gonna be for like the red to go with the red glow of the mech. Um this one just feels too pale. And I don't feel like it matches any of the other stuff with the mech. What do you think, chat? And then there's also the original sketch was this one, but I felt like the hand was just, I wanted it red instead of blue, and the hand was just too dark. Like the dark parts of the hand match the dark other parts of the mech. Like there are other dark parts of the mech, right? But it didn't look like when I first saw the image, I saw it on my phone and I had to turn up the brightness to be able to see the fingers. Did the first one remind you of Shining Finger? I like how the head crest came out. But yeah, what do you think of, like, I'm liking this one. This one feels a little bit too orangish. But something like this made to look more like the gold on the rest of the mech, I think would be best. I mean, ideally, well, I mean, I guess it would be cool if it was like a black and gold lining like the feet are. Oh, I love how the feet came together. Oh my gosh, the feet came together so well. He did such a good job on the feet. But what do you think, chat? I should have asked Silva to stay along for this last little bit. I'm liking this one. But yeah, this came out pretty well. Yeah, I was also really excited and a lot, like, he made so much progress on this artwork today. Yeah, right now it kind of has like a cloth feel, but it needs some kind of like a metallic. Cause like look how the gold has all of those accents, all the other places on the mech, right? The gold has all of that other accenty stuff. Kind of, kind of. I'm also gonna ask if I could get it um with a transparent background, so I can try to find a background to put over it, or to put it, or I can put it on different backgrounds. I mean, I could just feed it to a background removal tool. Um, I could just feed it to a background removal tool, but I figured it'd probably be better to just ask the artist. Just be like, hey, can I get that with no background? But yeah, it's so great to see a dream coming together. This kind of makes me wanna get back to editing my lore novel. 'Cause I sunk so much time and energy into that lore novel. That was a month of my life, a month of dedicated hard work of my life. I'm just not feeling the brown and the red. The brown doesn't feel like it matches anything. It feels completely out of left field. Like the red, at first I was like, maybe match the red glow, right? Mm-hmm. And I could do that, but like it'd probably be so much easier for me to just ask the author, hey, can you make the background transparent? The you mean I mean the artist. You know what I mean? But I'm really impressed with how well the mech came out. Like I know I gave him like a full like guide to work with, but like the the lining and the the design is just so good. This one just feels out of left field. Like it feels like these ones where it's like this grayish. This gray almost works. It almost works. I like how the helmet came together. Like look at that headpiece with like the glowing parts on the side. Like it's kind of got this skeletal feel to it. I'm gonna just remove them as I think I can kind of eliminate them. Like I'm not a big fan of this one. This one I'm not start from the other side. This red could be good if it not this brown, not the brown. One of these reds could be good if it was more of a metallic red. Could be. That color hand just looks like Cheetos. Looks like you got your hand stuck in Cheetos. That's all I can think of when I see that orange. But this yellow looks like it's closer to like you see what I mean where like it looks like it's closer. Ah. That hand just looks like it's a Cheeto. It just looks like a Cheeto. Am I wrong? Like, am I wrong, chat? Does that not just look like a Cheeto? I think I'm set on this yellow one. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. With the red spot into the gold. Oh, that's so cool. And to think this art was done by someone who doesn't specialize in mechs. This art was done by someone who does not specialize in mechs at all. Uh, he does a lot of um like D&D character portraits and stuff. So this is very outside of his wheelhouse. And like this kind of like this scenario, right, in which I used AI to generate a reference image, and then I gave that image to another artist that I'm going to pay in order to produce. That is a scenario where I feel like AI art is almost okay. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah, the single color hand, once it like once he told me just to pick a color, and tomorrow he's gonna work on making it look more metallic, so probably like doing like what he did with the gold parts where it has all these different shades, all these different colors and light. But yeah, you're right. The single color just does make it look kind of painted on. Or like hands are hard, not gonna lie. So like I kind of accept it. All right. So let's wind down for the start chilling out. So, uh, what is everybody doing this weekend? Watching more whatchamacallit, Bofuri? Or wait, no, Bofuri just had the new episode out, so there's probably not gonna be a new episode for a while, right? Okay. I know I'd figure it out somewhere. Oh, really? That crazy? It was that crazy, Nabiru? Good, that's fine. Making other characters broken to balance the main is my guess. Okay. I guess that's one way to do it. Alrighty. Oh. You think they're gonna make the other characters more broken to catch up with the main character? Oh my gosh, I got distracted looking at other character builds again. Let's see if there's anything cool to talk about on Twitter. When fixed damage from the terrain is the most effective, nothing to truly catch up. What? Fixed damage from terrain is the most threatening thing to the character? That's funny. Oh, apparently Kiwawa had her 3-day debut. Cool. I'm glad. Anything cool on Facebook? Any cool memes to react to before we close up shop? Oh, someone posted their fitness goal. Oh, that's funny. Someone posted a picture of sugar cubes and coffee, and it says, "Coffee drinkers, uh, be like, now it tastes good." You want me starting with memes? Oh no, Tom. Oh no. Oh. This is funny. Someone said eyelashes are supposed to prevent things from going into your eyes, but whenever something is in my eye, it's always an eyelash. Ironic, but they spelled it Eyeeronic, so it's like it's spelled I, like your eye, Ronic. I don't know any coffee drinkers. I only know creamer drinkers who had a tiny bit of coffee. Oh my gosh. Ah, yes. Ah, ooh, cracked my neck. Ah, I know some people in my life who like they live and die by coffee. Something like that, Tom. Something. I know people in my life who live and die by coffee, right? And they are all about coffee, but whenever it comes to getting their coffee, right, they pile it up with milk and sugar. And like the people I'm thinking of, they will like keep heating it up. They'll heat it up in the microwave, but then if it gets too hot, they'll add milk to it to cool it down. But then they'll add more. Actually, I don't even think they normally add sugar. I know they add lots of milk to it, and it ends up becoming so much milk or creamer in their coffee that it just like ah, I'm just really confused. And they'll just keep heating it up, adding more creamer, heating it up, adding more creamer, forget about it, then heat it up. And then it's like, ah, yes, it's perfectly good. And then they'll either forget about it or they'll just like gulp it down really fast. Okay. Ready. Oh, what? Tom sent me something. What'd you send me, Tom? The inventor of the throat lozenge has died. There will be no coffin at his funeral. That's funny because no one's coughing because they have the throat lozenges. I get it. Obtuse, right, acute, hell's angles. Yes. Imagine seeing someone water it down to whether it's 10% coffee, then they will pour a ton of creamer in, then question why creamer is almost gone. Ah. Oh, this is funny. When I was a kid, bedtime was 9 p.m. and I couldn't wait to be a grown-up so I could go to bed anytime I wanted. Turns out that's 9 p.m. I'm like the opposite. I'm a night owl. And like I go to bed usually between 3 and 4 in the morning. Won't drink cheap coffee. If you're drowning it in so much creamer, what's the difference? Um, but like I'm this night owl where I'm all about, but I don't go out or do anything. I'm usually like home on my computer scrolling social media, or I'm writing or working on something, and like I'll go to bed around like, you know, 3:30, 4, maybe 5 in the morning, and I usually fall asleep around like 5:30 or 6. Anyway, tonight's been an interesting stream. We've had a bunch of people come in and out. Um, let's say goodnight. For those of you who don't know, I like to end my streams with words of affirmation for everybody who came into the stream, and to say positive things about people. So, to Silva, to Nabiru, to Tom, to Leandro, to Doxus, and to anyone else who and to anyone else who watched the stream and was silent in the background, lurking in the background, or to anyone who watches this VOD, I want to say that I love all of you, and I believe in each and every one of you. I think that you all are wonderful, special, one of a kind, and unique. I believe that each of you has a precious, one of a kind energy that only you can bring to everything you do. I think that you all make this world a better place just by being in it, and I'm grateful every day to live in a world with you in it. Thank you for coming to my stream. Thank you for giving me your time, your attention, and your energy. I am grateful to have you as a member of this community here as a Star Hunter. Always remember the Star Hunter motto: shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always stop to enjoy the meme. I would ask that you like the stream. It helps the algorithm with recommending it to other people. Also, if you're watching this VOD and you want to leave a comment or suggestion or thought, please feel free to leave a comment on the VOD. I may not respond to all of them. I may not act on all of them, but I do read all of them as long as you're not banned, as long as I actually physically can read them. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you. And if you want to keep up with what I'm doing here on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and ding the notification bell to let you know whenever I go live or when I release any new content. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter or join my Discord. Links to both of those are in the description down below. If you have any friends, family, acquaintances, other people you think might enjoy my content, feel free to invite them to my streams or direct them to my content. My streams are Monday and Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're always looking for new people and to expand the community. Always remember, you do not have to donate or pay to be a member of this community. You're never expected to give money to be welcome or to be appreciated here. With that said, if you ever feel motivated to donate to improve the stream or to improve my life, there are links below where you can do that in the description. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Next stream is going to be Monday, 8:30 p.m. EST. Probably going to do a writing stream. We'll see how I'm feeling on Monday. But I will post updates on Twitter and on Discord about that as well. And also on Facebook. I also have a Facebook. I'll probably put a link to the Facebook. I have a Facebook fan page. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Have yourselves a wonderful night. And remember, you're amazing.